What's going on, guys? Gonna be doing some pan fishing again. Just like in my last video, gonna be using the little trout magnets, 1/64 ounce jig head, 1 1/4 inch little soft plastic split tail. Got that on my Daiwa D-Shock ultralight combo just because I already had it tied on. So we'll toss this thing around this lake here, hoping for some decent sized bluegills, but got about an hour or so to fish today. So 1, hopefully the rain holds off, and 2, hopefully we get into some fish. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, here's the lure we are going to be going with. Nice little natural gold color, mealworm color type thing. Just going to cast this out. Sank super slow, so we'll swim it back slowly, give it a couple twitches here and there. Caught a handful of fish on this thing when I was here last week. Oh, that was another hit. But if you remember from last week, I had tons of really small hits that I just could not hook up with because there's tons of little small bluegills in here and they're just a little too small for this. There we go though. What is this? Largemouth. Second cast. Come on up here. All right, first fish of the day on our second cast. Little dink of a largemouth, but action is action. So let's drop this guy back. Let's see what else we can get. There we go, fish on. What is that? Another largemouth. So, got a couple bites from some bluegills, but the only fish we've hooked into so far are these largemouths. Alrighty, largemouth number 2. Another dink, about the same size as the first one we got. So let's get that guy back. Let's try to get into some of those bluegills. Yo, fish on. First bluegill of the day. Alright, so I got several hits from bluegill, probably all about this size, but this is the first one that actually got the hook in their mouth. So nice colors, love the red on the tail, really popped up nicely on these little juveniles. But we'll get that one back and let's get a couple more, hopefully a little bit bigger than that one. Alright, like always when I'm on this lake, I love working the edges and then the kind of the openings and the gaps in between the lily pads. Lots of fish like to hide among the lily pads for some protection. So then if you just cast your little lure out in the openings between them and around them, any fish that are inside of the pads might come on out to ambush this little meal swimming by. So picked up 2 fish over on this set of pads. We'll make a few more casts here and then we'll move on to the next one. There we go, fish on. Little guy once again. Get a lot of these bites, but only hooking up with, I don't know, 1 out of every 6 or 7 of these. Another little bluegill. So these guys are super aggressive. Just bluegills, notoriously, they have pretty small mouths to begin with. And especially these juveniles are gonna have a hard time getting that trout magnet in their mouth. But once again, right out of these lily pads. So love fishing lily pads, tons of fish in them. Now I just hope we can find some bigger ones. Go, fish on. This one feels slightly bigger. Is it though? Another bluegill, slightly bigger, but definitely not big. Yeah, so this guy might literally be an inch, maybe like an 1.5 inches, 2 inches bigger than those other ones I was catching a little bit earlier, but definitely not big. There we go, fish on. Oh, that's a bigger one. Big bluegill. Nice copper nose. Let's get this guy in. They don't pull a ton. They can still pull a little bit of drag on this ultralight. That's a nice size one. Come on up here, dude. All right, so this guy is a tank. Big 9+ incher, big bull male bluegill. It is spawning season, so these guys are probably a little bit more aggressive than normal, but this is exactly what we're looking for. The catch of the day so far. So quick pick and we'll get this guy back. Here we go, fish on. Largy. Little dink like those other ones. Come on up here. All right, largemouth number 3. Another little dink, but on the ultralight, these guys are still a blast to catch. So let's keep going. Alrighty, another set of lily pads. Let's see what this little pile produces. There we go, fish on. Oh, that's a bigger one. Right on these pads. Looks like a largemouth. Yeah, biggest largie of the day, so we can get him in. Hasn't pulled any drag yet. Oh, there he goes, there he goes. There he goes again. Can't tell, it's not huge. There, oh, there's a nice jump. Not huge, but by far the biggest. Nice and easy. Oh, he looks like he's barely hooked too. Right in the corner of the mouth. Let's get him on up here. Oh. He's hooked well enough. There we go. All right, certainly not a monster, not like that big one I got out of this lake last week when I was fishing, but biggest fish of the day, that is for sure. Very respectable sized largemouth, and of course, it came right off of those lily pads out there. So we'll get this guy back, and let's see what else we can get out of here. Fish on. Feels like a decent one. Nope, out of the lily pads, dude. Oh, it's another nice bluegill. Second biggest of the day if we can land him. Not as big as that one big male we got. Come on up here. All right, another beautiful bull male bluegill. So at least I think he's a male. Pretty big ear flap and nice colors on him. Way nicer colors on this guy's chest area. Way nicer tail curl than that last one we got, but a little bit on the smaller side. But this is another really nice sized bluegill, so exactly what we were looking for out here. So we'll get this guy back, and this might be our last fish of the day. All right, so that's gonna do it. Pretty good day. Everything came on the trout magnet. A couple nice sized bluegills, one nice sized bass, and a bunch of little bluegills and largemouths as well. What I'm really curious about, it got me thinking here today, why is this such a great lure for all these, not only smaller types of fish, but I've caught some big fish on this too. It's tiny. It's just basically a straight piece of plastic with a little split tail there for a little bit more action, but it's just such a simple little lure. It's just so small, so straight, no real features to it, and it's amazing. So I think some of these lures, they catch fishermen more than they catch fish, but this is just a perfect little fish catcher. Can't tell you how many different fish I caught of all sizes, all different species, and it's so simple. But the trout magnet, there's a reason why this is one of my go-to soft plastics for not only panfish, but more like multi-species fishing, because it just works so well. Today and the last couple days kind of proved that. So another great day out here. The rain held off, fished for about an hour or so. So I'm happy, it was a good day. Hope you guys liked it, and I will see you next time.